Scott Sidwell and now Joan McDermott have been huge supporters of that collaboration right from the top of athletics, as has Kyle and the other coaches, and I have great confidence that Todd will carry on that tradition as well. We don't have one and dones here in the West Coast Conference and at USF. Our student athletes, like all of our students, are here to earn a degree. Emblematic of USF's commitment to academics is the fact that on this year's WCC men's basketball all-academic team, 4 of the 10 honorees were from USF, 40%, even though we represent only 10% of the schools in the WCC. And a 5th, Jimbo Lowell, was an honorable mention. 3 of our scholars on the all-academic team, Jordan Rotino, Nate Renfro, and Charles Minland, had the 3 highest GPAs among the 10 on the team. Matt McCarthy was the 4th USF student honored, but we cut him a little slack because of his language challenges coming from Australia. Let me give you one example of the collaboration between academic affairs and men's basketball. Last fall, before the team traveled to Belfast for the Basketball Hall of Fame Classic, I worked with Joan to arrange for the team to have a class with one of our courses here at the university that was studying the Troubles in Northern Ireland, the conflict between Protestants and Catholics in that country. Students from that course did a presentation to the basketball team, coaches, and staff, providing them with important historical context of the region where they would be spending a few days. All agreed it was an extremely valuable experience, both for the players as well as the students in that class. Let me close by relating to you a story. I attended the WCC basketball tournament in Las Vegas last month and was at the tailgate before our game with Pepperdine. I was talking with the parents of Jimbo Lowell, our starting center, who's also known around here as the world's tallest surfer. I was telling his parents how proud I was of the guys on our team, not just for what they did on the court, but in the classroom as well. Jimbo's parents then told me how proud Jimbo and his 2 roommates, I believe it was Nate and Dimitri, is that who you shared a place with? Nate and Jordan, I was close. How proud they were last fall when among the 3 of them, their GPA for the fall semester was just 1 A- away from a perfect 4.0. I, of course, had to ask Jimbo's parents who got the A-, and they smiled and said, it was Jimbo. So Jimbo, I have great confidence that this semester you'll be getting that perfect 4.0. So thank you very much to all of you for being here today to help us recognize this important announcement. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the President of the University of San Francisco, Father Paul Fitzgerald. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Heller. Thanks to everyone who came out today to join us for this really joyful celebration of a change of leadership here on the Hilltop. When I got to USF 5 years ago, on game night, this place was pretty quiet, pretty empty. In 5 years, we have built back a program of which we can be truly proud here in the house that Bill Russell built, the house that Bill Cartwright played in, and a house which is being rededicated and made alive again thanks to you, and to Todd, and to Kyle, and to the coaching staff these past 3 years. This War Memorial Gymnasium sold out 7 times this year. It was such a pleasure to hear people come up to the ticket window and say, I'd like 2 seats, please, and say, sorry, it's sold out. And people were like, okay, I'll try earlier next time. We had Gonzaga down, and of course Gonzaga, they always bring a lot of folks when they play here, and 250 of them had to watch over in McLaren remotely because they didn't have the tickets to the game. They didn't buy their tickets early enough. Our men's basketball program, our women's basketball program are bringing the city of San Francisco here to the Hilltop and allowing us to introduce them not only to world-class basketball, and not only to a team which is so visibly supportive, so visibly a family, so visibly a community, but also you represent all the best values of all of your fellow students here at the university, and it's a chance to us to present ourselves again and again what are USF values and what is a USF education all about. So, and I am very, very happy to sit here next to our new head coach. I don't want to do this again for a long time.
That's right.
So we're going to take your shoes off, nail them to the floor, and then have you lace them up really tightly.
Sounds great.
All right.
Okay, my turn. My turn. Is this working? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce Todd Golden as the 20th head coach of the USF Dons. It is important to make the right hire, not the safe hire. We could have done a national search, but we would have come back to Todd Golden. Kyle Smith and his staff developed a program where we excelled on the court, in the classroom, and in the community. We won over 20 games each of the last 3 years and had a net ranking that kept us in the national conversation as an at-large for most of this season. In the West Coast Conference, you can compete for a national championship, and we plan on being one of those key players. If you look at the teams that are successful in this league, they did it through consistency. Gonzaga and St. Mary's were not built in a day. With Todd at the helm, we are capitalizing on the momentum that was created with one of the main architects here who got us there. Todd knows what it takes to win in this league. At the end of the day, the hire comes down to a fit, about who we are and where we are going. Coach Golden, as our recruiting and defense coordinator, was a key in building this program to where it is today. There is no doubt that he will lead this program to aim higher and take us over the top. Make no mistake, under Kyle, we brought back excitement to the hilltop with the commitment our department and university has made to the basketball program, with upgrades to the facilities and a bright, talented leader in Todd. We will be competing for championships again here at the University of San Francisco. Please welcome Coach Todd Golden.
Thank you, Joan. It's truly an honor to be named the 20th head men's basketball coach here at the University of San Francisco. But before I get into that, it's important to me that I thank some very important people in my life. First and foremost, I would like to thank my wife, Megan. She's the real reason that I'm in front of you guys here today. She has supported me in every which way along my career, and for that I'll be forever thankful. Back in 2012, we were living in the Bay Area, and we had an opportunity to join Kyle's staff across the country in New York, and without any hesitation, she allowed us to go make that move. And 2 great years at the beginning of my coaching career. And after that, we had the opportunity to move down to the South and head down to Auburn University with Coach Pearl. And once again, without any hesitation, she was willing to pack up all of her stuff and head down that way for 2 great years. And then became the real challenge. After 2 years there, and on the start of something really special on the Plains, Coach Smith got the position here at USF. We had just bought a house in Auburn. Megan was over 30 weeks pregnant. And Coach Smith offered me the opportunity to join his staff as the associate head coach. Obviously, it was a lot to think about. And after about 24 hours of deliberation, I went back to Megan and I said, hey, what do you think about moving across country again? I'd be lying if I would say that she was thrilled in that moment. But she was happy to come back and knew that it was great for our career and our family. And her and her father allowed me to head out early, and she got in the car and came across country and met me here, allowing me to get a great head start with Coach Smith and the other coaches. So, babe, I love you, and thank you very much. All right. Next, I would like to thank my parents, Scott and Gail Golden, who are also here today. When I was younger, I would say I was very, very competitive and very stubborn. And I'm sure I wasn't very easy to deal with all the time, but they always gave me the confidence I needed to succeed and to have success both in the classroom and on the court, and really provided me with opportunities to be successful. Would not have this opportunity without them, so thank you guys for being here. It means a lot. Thank you. There's numerous members of the USF community that I'll be thanking over the next few weeks. One special person that I want to mention is John Dugan Sr. As soon as I stepped onto campus here, he welcomed Megan and I with open arms. And I want to tell a quick story about John. Last year, my dad was going through some health problems, and I had to get home to see him. And I saw him that morning, and he knew that Megan was going to be up here with my kids. And he hand-delivered a huge Italian dinner by himself to my family, just to support Megan and make sure that she didn't have to leave the house or cook or, have any extra stress. And that meant the world to me. And John is he's a Don through and through, and he wants this program to be as successful as possible. And John, I love you, man. Thank you. I also want to thank Coach Kyle Smith and our former athletic director, Scott Sidwell. They spent the last 3 years preparing me on a daily basis for this opportunity. And they took time out of their lives, time with their loved ones to do that, and it means the world to me. And I really appreciate those two men. And lastly, I want to thank the amazing leadership here at USF with Don, Father Paul, and Joan. Just thank you guys so much for this incredible opportunity. I'm going to make you guys proud, so thank you. The best way for me to describe my journey into becoming a head coach is pretty simple. I feel like I'm a product of the amazing basketball environments that I've been a part of. It started in high school. I played for two great coaches, Dan Mannix and an assistant, Steve Rosenbaum. And Dan Mannix was a really just amazing leader. He grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and he had incredible command and leadership of our team. And over my 3 years playing varsity there, we won 76 games, won a state championship. And Coach Mannix has since retired. In 2013, he was elected into the Arizona State High School Hall of Fame. He has over 500 career high school wins, and just an incredible leader that really just kind of sparked my passion for playing and coaching. And as I graduated from high school, obviously I attended St. Mary's College in the East Bay, and played for wonderful coaches. Randy Bennett, Kyle Smith, obviously was our associate head coach for my 5 years on campus. And one thing that's pretty remarkable to look back upon is my junior year, we had 6 coaching staff members on the team. 5 of those guys have become Division I head coaches. So I had the opportunity to play for amazing, amazing coaches. The one guy of that staff that wasn't a head coach was named one of the 40 under 40 members of Sports Business Daily Journal's business group in sports. So all these guys were incredible achievers, guys that had great pride, and they really just showed me the way. In the summer of 2009, I was playing professionally overseas, and in the summer, I had the opportunity to play on the USA Maccabi team. The head coach of that team was one of Bruce Pearl. Coach Pearl and I had an incredible relationship, and as he got back into the profession a handful of years ago, he brought me down to the Plains in years 1 and 2 to start building that program. Well, now they're in year 5 there, and as most of you are aware, Coach Pearl led the Auburn Tigers to their first Final Four in school history yesterday, and I'm really proud to be a part of that foundation. And him and I have a great relationship still. He's very supportive, sent me a great text yesterday after his win, which meant everything to me. But Joan and I are going to head out to the Final Four, and I'm excited to spend some time with them as they play their game on Saturday. When you step back and look at the storied history of this program, it's truly amazing. The best winner in really all of team sports played his college basketball here in Bill Russell. USF has multiple national championships. They are one of 15 programs in all of America that has multiple championships, and that's an incredible honor and something that we talk about with our guys nearly every day. 24 guys have come through this program and played in the NBA afterward. There's nothing you can't do from being in this program, and again, that's another sentiment we echo with our guys every day. There's been incredible coaches that have called the Hilltop their home. Started back with a great Pete Newell, 2-time champion Phil Wolpert, Peter Paletta, Bob Gaylord, Dan Bellamini, and one of my absolute favorite people in the world, the great Jim Bravelli. This is a very special place, and it's an incredible honor to join that group. I'm happy to share with you all today that the University of San Francisco men's basketball program is as healthy as it's been in a long, long time. We've won 20 or more games in each of the last 3 years. It's the first time that's happened since the program came back in the early 80s. We returned 10 student athletes on scholarship this coming year, and I'm also happy to report that all 10 are committed to building on this program moving forward. Round of applause for that. I want to make sure everybody understands this. We have incredible student athletes in this program. These young men are both achievers on and off the court. Not only have they won 20 games the last 3 years, but they've also maintained a GPA between 3.3 and 3.4 over that same span. And that's something that us as a staff were incredibly proud of. Having to balance the rigors of the coursework along with the demanding basketball and strength and conditioning schedules isn't easy, but these young men have found a way to do that in a big way. During this transition, I've made it as clear as possible to them that these high standards and demands that we hold them to will not change. They understand that it's a privilege and not a right to wear the USF name across their chest, and they work daily towards the mission and being living examples of making tradition, or turning tradition, or where tradition meets today. Excuse me. I've formed a 4-member leadership committee with this current team: seniors Jimbo Lowell and Jordan Martino, along with juniors Charles Minland and Jamari Bouye. I've elevated them to become the leaders of this program moving forward, and I know they're all excited about that honor. I know they're full of pride, and they're going to hold their teammates to a high and accountable standard. The integrity of our program will not change. As for basketball, we'll continue on defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball. They hear it every day. We'll be a team that plays defense with pride, not allowing our opponents to operate comfortably. On the offensive end, we'll continue to play together and unselfishly, knowing that individual achievements mean nothing unless the success of the team is first. When we have made a commitment this spring and summer to really improve our bodies and the strength and conditioning. We spent a lot of time getting bigger, stronger, and faster, and we all agree that that's going to be a big thing in terms of getting this program elevated. The bar will continue to be raised, and these young men are up for the challenge. I'm really excited about the way our staff is shaping up. I've been able to retain some really important members of this group. Ralphie Ferrari is going to come back in a role to be determined. He did a great job for us last year as our video coordinator. Jonathan Sapphire is going to be in our director of basketball operations role again. Jonathan's one of the smartest guys I know. He has an incredibly bright future in basketball, has respect of the team, and he's going to do a great job continuing to make us better. Coach Kevin Hovde, I'm incredibly happy he's coming back. Him and his wife Jackie are going to join us again on the Hilltop. Kevin's done an incredible job these last 3 years. He's one of the best on-the-court coaches I've ever seen in my life. And because of that, we're going to elevate him to the position of associate head coach. So congratulations, Kevin. Lastly, when obviously I haven't slept much and I've been thinking quite a bit about how we're going to make this program the best it can be. And I wanted to surround myself with people who were talented, smart, experienced, and weren't afraid to challenge me. I wanted to add a staff member who had experience both as a player and a coach at the highest level, someone who cared a tremendous amount about the university and would wear the pride on his sleeve. So last Friday, I invited somebody to breakfast and shared my vision with him and how I thought we could raise the profile of this program and really take the next step, and asked him if he'd be willing to join my staff in a capacity. And I was fortunate enough that he accepted, so I'm happy to announce today that Bill Cartwright is going to join our staff next year as a special assistant. Obviously, a great hire for me, someone who's going to, he's seen it all. He's been a 6-time NBA champion. He was a 3-year NBA head coach. Our guys know him well. They're very comfortable around him. And most of all, I trust him, and I trust that he wants what's best for this program. He's going to be a big asset. In conclusion, this is truly an amazing time for USF basketball. Our administration has made a big commitment to continuing the success that we've experienced over the last 3 years. Prior to last season, we made some major improvements on campus. We had a great gift, and we were able to build a state-of-the-art locker room for our young men to enjoy, something that we really needed and something that really did help us this past year, and I know they really appreciate it. If you look behind, you see we're working on the renovation here in the Sbrato Center in the club level. When that project's done, I think it's going to be a huge asset in terms of hosting alumni, donors, people in the community of San Francisco that want to be more involved in this program. And our program feels like we're positioned to take the next step, and I couldn't be prouder to lead the charge. I really appreciate everyone being here today to support myself, our players here, and our staff. With that being said, go Dons.
All right, so at this time we're going to have a brief Q&A with members of the media who are here. So if you have any questions for Todd or Joan, please raise your hand and I'll bring you the mic.
Todd, congrats. You mentioned that Bill is going to be a special assistant. Have you decided what that role is? Is he going to be on the bench for every game? Is he going to be at practice every day? Have you guys kind of mapped out what that role will be?
There we go. That's a great question. Obviously, we wanted to kind of build out the framework first. I want him to be as involved in the program as he can be. I want him to mentor myself and our staff as we move forward. I told him I wanted him to be in practice as much as possible. Now, he won't have a on-the-court coaching role or a recruiting role in terms of going on the road, but he will be on our, at practice, helping me and my staff out. Obviously, he won't be able to coach the team from a compliance standpoint, but I want him in the office with us as much as possible, sharing his wealth of knowledge. That was pretty easy.
All right, I think we're good. Thank you very much, everyone, and go Dons.